Hello, it's Mr. Adams and I'm going to talk to you today about your opportunity to take history at GCSE as one of your options. As you'll know by now, history is all about examining fascinating stories from the past to understand more about the people we are today. And at Key Stage 4, the topics we study are no exception. We've picked 5 diverse, interesting but accessible subjects for you to look at. And I'm going to talk you through each one of those today, and then I'll give you a little bit of information about how you'll be assessed in your GCSE. The first topic we study in Year 10 is the people's health. And this is all about the evolution of public health in Britain. So we look at things like responses to global pandemics. We track them all the way from the plague, all the way through Spanish flu. We look at living conditions, how people lived in the medieval times. We look at working conditions, how people worked in northern mill towns like Skipton during the Industrial Revolution. And we look at how attitudes of the government and people have changed in modern times. The next topic we look at is the Norman Conquest. So we look at what life was like before 1066. We look at how the conquest happened, how William managed to take over all of England. We look at some of the rebellions against him, and then we look at how William established control over a period of time by building castles, by changing the church, and by quelling rebellions so ferociously. It's a fascinating subject, particularly as we live in Skipton, which is a Norman town with its very own Norman castles and Norman churches. We also do a local history study where we come to Skipton Castle and look at the evolution and development of this amazing building. In Year 11, we look at what I think is probably one of the most important topics we study in history, and that is the Nazis. We look at how the Nazis came into power, and we look at what life was like living under the Nazis in 1930s Germany. We look at how Hitler's policies evolved and how they ultimately ended in the Holocaust. The final topic we look at in Year 11 is the Viking expansion. So we look at the Vikings from their origins in Scandinavia, how they expanded and spread across Northern Europe into North America and the Middle East. We look at the raiding and the pillaging, which the Vikings are known for, but we also look for the art and the literature that they spread as well. So I've talked briefly about each of the topics we'll be studying. All of these topics are assessed at the end of Year 11 in exam papers. But it's not to be worried about, because we've got plenty of time throughout each of the topics to practice the exam skills that we need and to revise for the exam at the end of Year 11. So if you'd like to know more about GCSE history, if you'd like to know more about the topics we'll be studying or how they'll be assessed or the type of work that we'll be doing through the year, please get in contact with me at school or email me at the above address, and I'd be really happy to answer any of the questions that you've got. I really hope you have enjoyed history so far and you want to carry it on. It's a fascinating subject that's really useful and diverse for you in future careers. So if you want to know anything else about it, please let me know.